new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day one, or day two, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Everybody that's been tuning in, I seen y'all last week. Y'all was showing out. I don't know where y'all came from. Some of y'all new couch potatoes, but I hope it ain't from that one video where I was talking about that house. Oh, and also don't mind my puppies in the background. They a little hype. Without further ado, let's give a moment of silence for the ones who aren't here with us today for whatever reason. Let's give this moment to them. Okay, coming up on the couch to wrap this month up, we're going to end with Fuck Fentanyl on the 30th. Then August the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is going to be Prison Jail Felon Talk. If you've done any time, or if you had a family member that did some time and you would like to share your story or their story, then you're more than welcome. Or if you have somebody that's been doing time and they're innocent and you want to come share their story about their innocence, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's let the world know that they innocent. Shout out to Cicely Mason, Mario Mason's mom. Y'all know I did the story on Mario Mason when he first passed away in the Oklahoma County Jail. I did the story on him last year, and his mom came on this year. And some people have been really reaching out. A lot of people have been reaching out. She's been telling me that a lot of people have been reaching out. And, we trying to get to the right people to get justice for Mario Mason. So, and then there just recently was another death in Oklahoma County Jail. So y'all keep Oklahoma County Jail and all these prisons and jails lifted up in your prayers. Also coming up, August the 10th, Derek, we had to reschedule him. He was supposed to be on here last week, but this is his second time on the couch. Shout out to Derek, the spiritual coach. Can't wait to have him and see what he has going on now. August the 12th is going to be Autoimmune Disease Awareness. August the 13th is going to be Sickle Cell Talk. August the 24th is going to be Stop the Violence. And August the 29th, shout out to anybody that want to come and everybody that was there last year. But we did a prison reunion last year, and we're doing the second annual prison reunion this year. So, and it's August the 29th. It's going to be last Sunday of the month. Yeah, I think it's every last Sunday of the month. So if y'all want to come through, I will post all the information. You're more than welcome. Kids are invited. I know some of y'all got some kids. So kids are invited. That is on the 29th, and then wrap the month up, of course, August the 30th with Fuck Fentanyl. Today's episode is about mental health talk. And usually, y'all know a lot of times when we come on with mental health talk, I play that song that I did with Lance Hitch and Gorilla Zoe. But today I decided to do Smile for Me. And the reason why is because with the way, especially the way the world is, we have to smile, especially to keep from crying. I know you heard that saying, I gotta smile or laugh to keep from crying. Yeah, that's real. People really do that. I've done it a time or two. Just the other day I was doing a little bit of research because I just started a new medication for my spine. I'm still having spinal issues, so I started a new medication for my spine, and I was like, it's something about it that it just felt familiar, and I didn't like it. And so I'm like, so yesterday, that's the reason why I wasn't on the couch, because I took that medicine and it had me so sick to my stomach, but it causes 6 to 8 weeks of morning sickness and just anyways. But come to find out that it is also a antidepressant. And y'all know I have been talking about how any type of lupus medicine that they given me, and any type, now I'm now doing my research on, like, are these antidepressants, like, there's over 30 antidepressants that they also use for lupus patients, sickle cell patients, chronic pain. They are literally, without your permission, treating your depression. And this is the thing, is just because today I didn't get my appointment, well, I was a little sad, but I didn't get so depressed that I was like, oh my gosh, I want to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no shade on anybody who has, but it doesn't mean that I'm depressed because I didn't get what I wanted. And then I threw a little fit and then I came to my senses. But that doesn't mean that I'm just super depressed. So because I tell you about a bad day that I had, doesn't mean that I'm depressed or that I was sad. It doesn't mean, unless I tell you, hey, I'm getting depressed, I need some help. Like, yo. So it's for these doctors to put us on antidepressants. Did you know that it can also make you depressed? If you was never depressed and they just decided to treat your depression out of your chronic pain, the depression part of it, because they actually believe that all of our pain, majority of it, is in our mind. So they can give you depression. And then you're taking these medications and you wondering why you feeling homicidal, suicidal, ready to fight, irritable. Not everybody that is depressed needs medication. And I know that might sound backwards because a lot of you guys are like, oh, no, I need my medication, and that is just fine. But some of us, and I'm not referring to myself because I was on antidepressants at one point. But some of us are actually, like, you know how you could be passive aggressive? We like passive depressive. Like depressed for a moment, a fleeting moment, and then all of a sudden my interest is picked back up into something fun and something that frees your mind. Yeah, but what if you don't have that? What if you have to take the medication? And shout out to all the ones that are on medication and that was brave enough to even take that step to get help. Because it takes a really big person to get help. Not a lot of people are brave enough to get help. So shout out to you. I've lost a few people to mental health issues. And every time I think about all the times where it seemed like they were happy, it makes me wonder, like, damn, do I really know how to read people? Like, because if I did, then how come I couldn't read my own friend who was in my face? Basically crying out for help. But not to me, to someone else, but in front of me. But how come I didn't see the signs? We miss the signs sometimes when it's right in front of our faces. And then when we miss them and then that person is gone, oh my God, it's like we carry this heavy burden of feeling like it's our fault. Like I could have did, or I should have, or I could have called, and then it weighs on us. And then everyone that we meet, not saying that it's a bad thing, but everyone that we meet, they have to know about your guilt. Not even the story or cool memories of the person that you felt like it was your fault, but just your guilt out of it. So then now you're missing times to honor your friend with another friend that possibly knows them, or even if they don't know them, you know, you could just show pictures like, hey, you know, it was a great saxophone player and da-da-da-da-da-da. Instead, you talking about it's all your fault. But when are you going to forgive you for feeling like this is your fault? And it's truly not your fault. When someone is going through something mentally, if it's nothing that we can do, it's nothing that we can do. Because 9 times out of 10, they already have it in their mind what they're going to do next. Because they, at this point, are taking control of their life. And they want to feel like, hey, I'm steering the ship of this motherfucking, yeah, this is me. I'm the HBIC or the whatever you call yourself. You taking control of your life. And I'm not saying that for the ones that are still alive that we're not taking control of our lives. I'm saying that I know this might sound crazy, but it has to be some type of, I don't even want to say like a common, like it's just very brave. And to a lot of people, suicide is the most selfish thing that you can do. But it's also brave. Because if we get a paper cut, we like, ooh, and they were brave enough to take themselves out. Very sad. But we have to keep their memory alive in a good way. Talk about them in a positive way, because a lot of times when we don't let go of the guilt and the hurt and the pain that we feel from someone that we lost, from them being depressed. And even if we had never been a depressed person before that happened, well, I lost a friend now to suicide. Now I'm depressed because I feel like I should have did more. I could have did more. I called myself your friend. I called myself your best friend. Now the guilt won't go anywhere. And the older I get and the more I get, the more situations I come into, the more people I meet, the more I realize how much further I'm falling into depression, and I'm hiding it like it's cool. And then I'm going with emotions because my body knows how to go with emotions. It goes to work, it takes a shower, goes to bed, it eats your breakfast, it uses the bathroom. Almost like a robot. A lot of things can trigger depression in someone who's never been depressed, or someone who's never let depression linger. Finally, not being able to take any more no's when it comes to looking for a job. When you know you have so many bills piling up, you have your kids to feed, I can't take another no. Now you fed up. Now you depressed, drinking, doing more drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd. And even though some of us were like, oh, well, I'm strong, that ain't never gonna happen to me. It might not have happened to you in your teenage years, but it could damn sure happen to you in your adult years. Some of y'all right now are adults that has never, ever, ever experienced some of the things that you've experienced right now. And you never thought that you was careful all this time. But now you depressed. Now you can't let things go anymore. Now you holding on to hurt, pain, depression, anxiety, panic attacks. You holding on to all of this now. Something triggered it in the adult version of you. It didn't trigger it when you was a kid or when you was a teenager, but something in your adulthood happened to where it's triggered. And now you like, damn, I almost don't even recognize myself. Like, I want to recognize myself. I love me, but me who? Which version of me? Which version is really me? Is this depressed version really me? Is this angry version really me? Which one? We still trying to figure out, some of us. Some of us know who we are, but we still depressed. Something about adulthood is lingering in itself. So it's only, man, you're gonna hold on to depression maybe longer than you've done when you was a kid, because a lot of times when we growing up, we don't take things as serious. You ever watched a movie when you was a kid, and then when you watched it when you got older, you was like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? I get it now. I get it now. But you couldn't get it when you were a child or a teenager. So how can you, which I'm not saying that you couldn't truly be depressed whenever, but you didn't experience that until, like I said, something triggered you, till you got older. What is triggering you? What has triggered you? And are you able to control that trigger? Are you able to overcome that trigger? Because there's too many of us that have lost to our triggers. And we still trying to find our way back to the version of us that we thought was us. But then by the time we got there, we don't even, hold on. I'm a little stronger than this version right here. I need to, now you stepping into a new version of yourself. But that depression is still lingering. That anxiety is still lingering. But now you knowing more so, like, I get it. Like, I see why the world is like this, or I see why this is happening, or I see that this will never change, or I know that. And then it's a different type of depression. When you realize that it's never the situation that you're thinking. Like, for instance, racism is never going to go away. It's sad. Do you want it to go away? Hell yeah. Have we tried? I think. Maybe, kinda. Has it worked? So, in your adult mind now, back then, somebody called us the N-word. We was just fighting. We wasn't even really thinking like ancestors. And until we got older, we started like, yo, our ancestors, hold on, wait a minute. Now we feeling it. Now we crying about just reading a story. Now we crying about just thinking about our ancestors, when back in the day when we was younger, we wasn't crying about a thought. We wasn't crying about a movie. But we do now that we older. He said, I wish it would, and the human race as a whole would stop allowing it to tear us apart. Racism? Yeah. I wish it would too, but this is the life that we live in. This is actually how they wanted it. Because that's what they put out in the atmosphere from the jump street. And it continued on through legacies of generations of racist people, of people who just hate different type of breed. And some of you are like, you know what, I'm not like that, and I get it. But if the world, let me just say this real quick. If the world stopped, everything stopped right now. I'm talking, there's no electric, there's nothing. Communication, I'm talking about you gotta walk to the other side of the world to give it to the person. It ain't happening unless you're taking a horse. And your kind and my kind had one leader, whoever it was, and they said, we're gonna do this, but all colored folks gotta go this way, and all white folks gotta go that way. Would you follow your leader? Or would you be like, nah, no, I fuck with them. And they like, well, if you don't come with us on our side, then you die. And same for the colored, same for the natives, same for the Mexicans. They all have leaders. If they had these leaders and they said this to each and every one of you, would you stay with your own kind? Or would you branch off and start your own, clan? Or that's all I'm gonna say on that. I mean, because I really be wanting to know like what some of y'all answers are. I genuinely want to know, because back in the day when it was segregated, there were people that were white that loved black people. But at the end of the day, they went back to their all-white neighborhoods. So I just asked the question. And then again, like I said, racism will never go away. The world don't want it to go away. It's crazy. Too many of us are depressed, and a lot of it is untreated. And especially when it comes to men aren't finna be like, yo, I'm depressed. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to go smoke again? Or they ain't finna talk to their homeboys talking about how to, some of them. Some are grown men, and they'll be like, yo, I've been feeling real down lately, you know what I'm saying? Is there anything that you could do or say to lift me up? You know what I'm saying? We need to start speaking positive. There's going to be some positive brothers that's out here and that's speaking positivity into each other, but there's also going to be those ones that are just too depressed or just don't know how to handle or sort out their feelings. So they're angry all the time, or they're rude to people, or people don't like them, or people don't want to be around them, or they're not approachable. Men were taught to keep their feelings in. So that's why we, especially as content creators, we have to encourage men, women, all people to speak their mind. Talk about it whenever you're going through something. Figure out what emotion that you're feeling. Because depression is real and it can take you there. And then some of these men, they hold it in for so long, and then all of a sudden we see a video or a post of them talking crazy. And I'm not talking about like talking crazy. That's just how I talk. But just saying like, I don't want to be here no more, and y'all can't stop me. And it's like, damn, like, but how did I miss the sign? Just like I said earlier, how do we miss the signs? Now it's already too late. It's already too late. So we have to put it in the atmosphere right now. So when these kings start to get depressed or feel down or feel like they don't have nobody else, they can remember that, you know what? I remember whenever the Couch was live one time, she was talking about mental health, and she did kind of, shed light on what we as men kind of go through. But it would be even better coming from y'all mouth. You're more than welcome to come sit on the couch and talk about it. But mental health is real, and it's in children, babies, men, women, trans, gays. It's in... Listen. I know sometimes we think that the hate in our heart is more powerful than depression. Because would you... Well, I'm not going to say that because some of y'all be like, yeah, I'll kill them. No. Never mind. Depression needs to be talked about. We need to put it in an atmosphere so that whenever people come across our page or see or hear some of our content, they know that we're encouraging them and that we want them to speak on what they're going through or find somebody that they trust. I know that we like to promote the trust no one or no new friends. I know we like to promote that so much. But what a depressed life that is, to have no one. Like, wow. I used to think that I wasn't meant to be with anyone. And I just thought that. But no one is meant to be alone. If that was the case, there would have never been male and female. It would have only just been male. There would have never been a companion mate for Adam. There would have just been Adams. That's it. We are not meant to be alone. I don't care how depressed you are or how much baggage you feel like you have from a past relationship or from childhood trauma, or I don't care how much of that you feel like you have. There is someone that is out there that is waiting on you, waiting to bump into you, waiting to show you everything that you have been deserving, whether ready to show you how worthy you are, ready to worship the ground that you walk on. It's somebody that's waiting on you. You are not meant to be alone. Sometimes when we alone, isn't it when sometimes we have the worst thoughts, or, we get to thinking about some things that we probably shouldn't be thinking about, like that we should let go, but whenever you occupied and you're doing something, you don't tend to think a lot on what you didn't what you went through, or no, because you making new memories with your friends and someone that you love or like or trust. So find that someone. Figure it out. You said we can be the worst enemy of ourselves without the person by our sides. Yes, that is so true. And mind fucking yourself is way worse than somebody else mind fucking you. Like, I would rather a motherfucker talk shit to me than for me to talk shit to me. Because when I talk shit to me, I'll be like, really? Are you serious? Why would you talk to me like that? Oh, me. Why would I talk to me like that? Why would I even say that stupid ass shit? Yeah. Yeah, because I will. I'm talking about tongue lashing. Like to the third power or more. So, don't allow yourself to be depressed, especially when you have people reaching out and wanting to hang out with you and to bring you out of that depression and bring you out of your shell. Do you want to come out of your shell? Try it. It's not fun sitting and wallowing in depression all day. Doesn't feel good. It's not good on your body, mentally, physically, or emotionally. It's not. So reach out. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you don't want to live another day, reach out to someone that you trust with your feelings. If you don't find that person, then there's an 800 number that you can call. Or if you're in a local place, you can look up a mental health number you can call. But there's mental health agencies that are 24/7 that you can call and speak to, and they'll talk you out of it. So please reach out. Please. I love you guys. If you're just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles, where it ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday from 8 Central Time, and every Wednesday and Friday from 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook, TikTok, Big O, Threads, Lemonade, Favorite It, Fanbase, Seen You, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And THA Real JANELL on all social media platforms. That's my main platform. I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all know we do mental health talk every month. So catch the next mental health talk next month. Tomorrow, come kick it with me in the morning. I will see y'all at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. I love you guys. It's the Couch Chronicles, where it ain't no fucking limits. And thank y'all for vibing with me. Y'all know I came on a little early. But like I said, my medication, it looked like I'm high, but I'm not. I'm tired. My medicine is, oh my goodness, I'm ready to go to bed. Shower time, sleep time. I love you guys.